Welcome back, everyone. I'm excited. I'm really excited about bringing on my next guests who have been on with me a couple of times. And listen up, everybody. This is something that you all need to listen to. I have with me Christopher Boardman and I have Michael Harker, and they are with Professional Claims Management. Welcome to the show. You have to tell everybody a little bit about yourselves and what you all do.
Well, good afternoon, Carol, and happy Good Friday.
Thank you.
And I guess this is our Easter edition of Ask the Adjuster, right?
Yeah, it's almost like
Ask
a Charlie
the
Brown
Adjuster.
episode.
I love that.
It
love
is.
that.
It can replay for
You guys
years
have
and years.
to have your own show. One day we're going to do it.
So we are a public adjusting firm. So basically we work in the residential and commercial insurance industry. And what a public adjuster does is we work for an insured or a property owner that has homeowners insurance, business insurance, and in the event that a loss occurs, the fire, water event, storm event, something like that, we come in and we adjust the claim and make sure that everything's done, and we hold the insurance company accountable to their policy.
And you work on a
contingency. Our success is based solely upon how effective we are for our clients. So there's a question that we get asked all the time is when is a good time to bring a public adjuster in? Anytime, from right in the beginning to you just realize that you're getting hosed by your insurance company. Now you need somebody to represent you, but you don't know that a lawyer's the right way to go. You bring us on board, we will take our fee based upon how successful we are at getting new money. So you've already gotten a partial settlement, but you're getting everything else held from you. We're only going to take our fee on how successful we are at getting that new money to you.
So if there's no opportunity for us to maximize the claim, we take no fees.
Right.
We're completely performance-based, so if obviously we're incented to perform. But you also brought up the question of when do you bring on a public adjuster, and you can bring on a public adjuster at any point during the claim process. I would say, as a public adjuster, immediately call us if something's going on.
Right.
And I'll illustrate it to you this way, Carol. Kind of what our job is have you seen that movie The Matrix with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Okay, remember when Neo towards the end, he's like out there and Agent Smith is the bad guy, and he fires a bunch of rounds, and all of a sudden Neo puts his arms out and those rounds start slowing down and he gets all acrobatic around that. That's what we do, is we come in, we slow things down, we make sure that we're dodging any bullets that are potentially going to make sure your claim isn't paid properly or your house or business isn't put back properly. And the second part of that is, you remember what Neo did with that kung fu. Yeah, he went back at him and he was throwing punches and some real kung fu
I'm going to let
stuff.
everybody call in if anybody has a problem, and let them.
Please.
Right now we know that little things happen all the time in our homes, and the first thing we do is we go, oh God, I got to call my insurance company, and they'll take care of me.
Right.
But they are, I hate to say this, they say they're on your side, but really, in most cases, they're not. They're not. Let's talk.
Well, and what it is there was a consulting firm that came into a carrier that I won't name in the middle 90s, and the consulting firm was looking at the business model of this large carrier, and they were looking at sales and marketing. They were looking at, I guess that was before internet marketing or anything like that. But then they set their sights on the claims department. Now, historically, insurance has been around since the 1800s. Historically, the insurance premiums, they would know what was coming in. They'd pack 100,000 policies into one, and they'd typically pay out 20% or so. Well, those consultants looked at that 20% and they said, we should thin that out. Well, that insurance carrier did that, and quickly every insurance carrier followed suit.
It set a precedent.
And what they did is they're profitizing those claims department. And do you want to know what the statistics are? They're squeezing an extra 8% profit out of that.
Well, that's,
Don't get me wrong, that's billions and billions of dollars.
Right.
But the effectiveness on what they're doing and how they've changed their tune of there's always been fraud fraud and that sort of thing that occurs in that world. But for the most part, those claims should be paid properly. And when those companies paid them properly, it wasn't as big a problem as it is now.
I don't know if I said this the last time you were on, but I know that people, if they don't know me very well, I went through that Northridge earthquake, and I lost my house in the earthquake. And what do you think we did? Everybody called their insurance company.
Sure.
And then like I said, I only wish I had known that I could call someone like you, because I would have gotten way more money,
Yeah, and I mean,
And a lot of people lost on that. A lot of people
Yeah.
lost on that.
The
And it
point
wasn't
you had
right.
made formerly on that is that you had some custom blinds or something
Right.
that obviously shifted and broke.
Oh,
And
off the wall.
yeah, the carrier sent you to Target.
Yeah, it was like really they were custom made, and
Right,
it was
right.
kind of sad. So here's what I want to do. First of all, I am going to let people. Let's go. It's Good Friday. If you guys have a question, ask the adjuster.
Call
They're
it up.
here. Any kind of give them some ideas of just little things that you do, not just all big fire. What else?
Well, right now, I mean, on my desk, I just got a call yesterday, and a lady says, "Hey, my claim has been settled with my insurance company, but now they're denying part of it." So she had a water leak in her plumbing, and they said, "Okay, this part of the plumbing isn't covered, but we're going to cover the flooring and the walls, and it's only going to be at actual cash value." So here's the thing that I want to get into, and we were going to talk about this later, but I think it's really important, is knowing what your policy will actually do for you. And this poor lady, her policy, when it was originally written, was replacement costs. So that means if it costs $20,000 to get your floor replaced, you get $20,000. Her policy is then turned around, and with an addendum that she wasn't even aware was on there, makes it actual cash value. So now that $20,000 floor, it's been walked on for 8 years. She's only getting $12,000 for that $20,000 floor.
That's
Which
sad.
means where's the other $8,000 come from? Her pocket.
Now, we've got our lines open here. Ask the adjuster. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. They will do both residential and commercial. Their website is onyourside.us.com. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You're nationwide.
Absolutely. We
Okay,
work in all 50
nationwide.
states.
You do second opinions for everybody as well. They do. This is not only a free consultation. They work on a contingency basis. They work for you, and they want you to get the most that you deserve. Again, if you have a question, ask the adjuster. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Go ahead.
Well, I can just bump off of what Michael was just saying, because he said actual cash value, and this is another trap that we see our clients get caught in all the time. The policy will pay two types of payments. The replacement cost value, which is what it would cost to give like and kind now in time, and then there's actual cash value. The difference between those two is what's called depreciation. Now, you have a fire at your house or something like this, you have an adjuster from the carrier that calls you up, and they're saying, "Oh, how old is your couch? How old is this?" What you don't know, I don't know. The couch is 10 years old. Well, the couch is really only 5 years old, but you've got a house fire going on, so you're not thinking about when you purchase things.
Right.
You got to be careful of what you say.
Well,
Yeah,
and right
every
there,
time.
that couch just lost a tremendous amount of value. So, and also remember, you're not signing off on your insurance carrier. When you look to hire a public adjuster, we share you. So the carrier, you're a client of the carrier as well as a client of ours. So that's where we always go to the carriers, and we're like, hey, it's our client that we share. Let's play nice in the sandbox and do the nice thing.
Right.
Again, we've got our lines open here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I want to talk to you about one thing, too, that when you say, let's say somebody needs a second opinion, or they've already had something happen, and like you said, they felt like they got kind of messed up from their insurance.
Yeah.
How long is there a period of time? Like, let's say somebody had something happen a year ago. What is there a statute of limitations, if you would call it that?
There is, absolutely. In the state, in every state, it's going to be a little bit different. But in the state of Arizona, it's dependent upon date of loss, date of reporting, and when the claim was closed, and whether settlement was issued or not. But typically, you're going to have about a 2-year period.
So you have 2 years that you could still give them a call. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. I want to leave my lines open here. I also want to say hi to everybody. Like us and follow us. We are going to be sharing this show. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we want to talk further about how they can help. They work on a contingency basis, and they work nationwide. Check them out on their website. It's onyourside.us.com. You can also call them direct at 480-840-1816. Call in here. Give us a call. Ask the adjuster. 602-277-5369.
Ring us up.
Welcome back, everyone. I got to tell you something. I just learned about their emergency prepared kit. I said kiss. Hey, listen, guys.
Those are not free.
We are talking right now, and
Maybe
we're having
for me.
fun. It's Good Friday. We're talking right now with Christopher Boardman and Michael Harker, and they are with Professional Claims Management. And we've been talking a little bit. Ask the adjuster. You get to call in and ask a question if you have one. And everyone's going to get this. Tell us about it. I'm so
All
excited.
right. Over the commercial break, I just saw Carol get more excited than I've ever seen her
Yeah,
get
I know.
since I've known her.
I love to give stuff away.
I had to step back.
And we were honestly discussing a convention we're going to next week where we are putting together emergency preparedness kits.
Yep.
And her eyes lit up, and she's like, you need to give those to the listeners.
Yeah, why not?
So
Yeah.
Michael and I will be putting about 1,000 of those together next
Yeah.
week. And we absolutely have some of those for the listeners. And I guess the reason that it's important is because when you're working in our business with fire, water losses, and things like that, you need to have a plan. And most people don't have a plan.
Right.
So when something happens, they're like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Right.
Right.
And so now we're going to open up the lines to the audience. You can either call in and ask the adjuster a question. You can also get we're going to give them to everybody, okay?
Why not?
You've got 1,000
Why not?
of them. Our number here,
Absolutely.
602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone's going to get one. It's an emergency prepare kit and a plan. It's just all about what you need to do. Okay, and again, I want everybody that's tuning in that might have just tuned in to know they're for you. They're working for you. They work on a contingency basis, so they want to make sure that you get the most that you deserve. And they're nationwide as well. Check them out on their website. It's onyourside.us.com. Okay, let's go into some of these other things. Go ahead into this one here, what a client can expect.
Well, what can a client expect afterwards? So that's kind of what, when we're talking about emergency preparedness kits, I just had a client, it was a fire loss, and we were back at the house a couple of weeks after the fire, and they plugged in their phone was dying, they plugged it into the wall. There's no power in the house. That's because whenever there's a fire, I mean, obviously not a pan fire in the kitchen,
But a big one.
a big one. And it doesn't have to be that big, but it has to burn some, materials and building supplies. But that said, the fire department is always going to pull the electrical box because it's unsafe to have the electrical set up. when
An
there's
electrical
systems.
box could cause a fire.
Yep.
Well, and that's actually kind of what we were talking about is how does a fire affect an electrical system? So they pull the box. A lot of times the insurance carriers on their estimates that I see, they don't even consider anything with the electrical system. What NEMA's an association. It's the National Electrical Manufacturers Association. They state that if there's any fire that's present, that would be the smoke or the temperature, once it gets to a certain temperature, that all the electrical systems in the house can be affected, and it affects the casing that goes around the wire. Right. Well, most houses have the electrical system plumbed through the ceiling, so a fire goes up. So most fires that are of substantial, a fire that's of substantial loss to the
Right,
house,
substantial size, location.
those electrical systems, the insurance carriers should be replacing them because otherwise it is just potential for another fire.
Right. Yeah. It's part of the mitigation process, and you want to mitigate. You mitigate the loss. You don't want to have it getting any worse. You don't want to have it reoccurring. And if the insurance company doesn't consider that, we bring to their attention, great. So now you're exposing yourself and your insured to another loss. You knowingly have the opportunity to avoid that. It has to be paid for through the policy.
Let me say this too. This isn't something right now. We're not giving away a weed whacker here, but you know what? There's a lot of people need to put. You got to put this number in your phone because this is something where you never know when something's going to happen. And so their phone number is, and they're nationwide. They work for you. They do second opinions. This is on a contingency basis. Believe me, I wish I knew I had someone like you on my side when that happened. Their phone number direct, it's 480-840-1816. Their website is onyourside.us.com. They are both residential and commercial. Call in here. Get that preparedness kit. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I would say you can write down the number or you can call in or email us, and our emergency preparedness kit actually has our number written right on it.
And that way you have it there, and it's going to give you the plan. It's not just a kit. It's going to give you a plan of what to do. God forbid something bad happens. I think everyone should have one. Everyone should have one in their house.
Absolutely.
No doubt. In their office as well. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. What else?
Let me tap down a little bit further on that electrical system, because this is another one that time and time again I see missing from the insurance carrier's estimate. The AC system. Now, why would that be an issue if the AC system is on the other side of the house and it's not anywhere where the affected area was? Well, think about this. If the fire occurred in the summer, it's very likely that that AC system was pulling air and it was pushing it through the duct and vent systems.
Right.
So when a client goes to their insurance carrier and that isn't covered and they get their house put back together, what happens next summer when they turn on the AC system? It stinks like smoke, right?
Yep.
So that's another softball that I see the carriers miss all the time.
Well,
Absolutely.
we think that we're covered when we say, oh, well, I've got insurance. Well, you're not that much covered, and it's really scary out there. I mean, I'm one to say. So the number to call, again, at 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I know we didn't have a lot of time this time, but next time we're going to do it again.
Great.
We want you to be able to call in. We want you to be able to ask the adjuster questions if you have them. Also, you are also going to get this it is the preparedness kit.
Yeah.
And everyone should have one, whether it's your home or office. Number 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And I'm going to let everyone call for another 10 minutes to be able to do that.
Excellent.
Even though we don't have that much time. We're going to let you keep on calling. Go ahead, because I can't talk anymore.
Well, Michael, the other thing, I know that you were working on a water loss, and it had to do with direct physical loss versus line of sight, and I think it was because part of the room was affected by water.
Yeah.
They were covering the flooring on that. So talk a little bit about that.
So in the state of Arizona, you don't have any sort of matching law or clause that says you have to have everything that matches. But what we do say is there is a line of sight, is that if you can look in one room and the floor doesn't match in the next room, that is not putting you back to where you were. That is not mitigating.
Let me tell you how much they try and do that kind of stuff. I mean, I remember us. We had shards of glass everywhere.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Were they paying for the general cleanup of that?
No.
Of course not.
Of course not. They
They'll
don't
get
do
your
that.
dustpan out. Yeah, that's what
Exactly.
they're
And
telling
I
you.
did that by
Right.
myself.
Right.
I took a shovel to my kitchen.
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
It's terrible. And you know what? We thought, by the way, it was so bad. And there was a lot of people that got burned, right?
Yeah.
And so badly. And I'm not going to say who I was with either.
Thank
but
you.
guess what? There was an action where
Class
about
action
it.
suit?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think it was about a year later or so, everybody got a little bit more money. But I mean, let me tell you.
Let me point out
we
that
should
was
have gotten even more.
It was a settlement, right?
Exactly.
Okay, why would the insurance carrier do a settlement so that there's not case law
Oh, yeah.
going forward? So again, you've got to
absolutely.
remember, these companies have millions and millions of dollars they drop on advertising to make us feel safe. Then we drop into a claims department that no one has any idea that's been profitized.
So let me ask you something. I mean, everybody's going to say, so why should I not have pay insurance? Why should I pay when I could just call you?
Well, as far as making the initial call to the insurance carrier, because you're calling into a system that you don't understand. From the other side of the desk too, Michael's been there. It's not.
Yep.
You would assume that adjuster that's assigned to you is may be working with a handful of people that are involved in a loss.
Right. Yeah, I've been in the industry almost 20 years. You're not, as a claims adjuster for the insurance company, you're not just given 5 claims a week to say, here, let's take care of these and let's do the right thing and let's pay the money out. No, you're given 20 to 30 claims a week and saying, here, and by the way, you still have 120 claims already on your desk. Here's another 30.
Right.
Take care of it.
Right. Get it done.
Get it done quick.
Mm-hmm.
And let me point out, we as public adjusters, we hold state licenses. What that state license authorizes us to do is interpret policy.
Yeah.
Most of the adjusters that work for the carriers don't even have an adjusting license with the state they're adjusting.
No, they're claims representatives. They're not adjusters.
And here's the thing. Most of us don't even understand what our policies even say.
Oh, that's a whole nother show,
So
Carol.
we're going to do that next time, but our lines are going to keep them open here for everybody to get the prepared kit, the emergency prepared kit. And it's not just a kit. It's going to tell you a plan of what you need to do, God forbid. Go ahead, real quickly.
Let me also mention, though, because of the policy, Michael here is authoring a 6-part series on policy breakdown. You can find that on our website, onyourside.us.com.
So here, I'm going to give out your phone number to call. Put it in your phone. You never know when you need it. 480-840-1816. They do second opinions. They do free consultations. They work for you. They work on a contingency basis nationwide. Keep on calling here and get this. They're both commercial and residential. Our number here, 602-277-5369.
Happy Easter, everyone.